me just adjust this. Actually, I'll bring it a little bit closer. So anyway, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys don't know who I am by now, my name is Chuck. Again, welcome back. So, why am I shooting this video today? So, today while I was at work, I happened to have been watching, when I was supposed to be working, I was watching some of the Fast and the Furious on my phone, the original. And there's that part where Dom calls Brian a Busta, and it, I thought it was I thought it was funny, just in general, because I think he finally stops calling him a Busta in the fourth Fast and the Furious, where he goes, the Busta became a Gearhead, or something like that. I can't even remember that off the top of my head. But anyway, so I wanted to actually kind of do this video, and I might do it, see how this does, and then go on from here, maybe make it a series or something like that, called From Busta to Gearhead. Think about that, let me know what you think. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with, it's not the easiest thing in the world, and I could have saved this for later on in the series, but I figured, hey, since I got to do this anyway, why not start with it? And that is building my motor. So basically what I'm going to talk about is some of the things that it takes when you're deciding to build your motor. So let's start off with the first one. God, I keep going all over the place. Sorry, you guys are hanging out my engine bay. Yeah, a little dirty. Anyway, so let's start with the first one. So my first, don't mind me, I wrote this down because I didn't want to, get it wrong. And I'm the one who wrote it. So anyway, determine the amount of money you can personally spend on an engine build. Now, that would, when you're deciding, when you say, hey, I'm going to build my motor, there are certain things that you have to take into factor, such as determine the cost of engine parts. First of all, what do you want to do? So determine the cost of the engine parts, such as pistons, head bolts, bearings, camshafts, etc., etc. You want to know how much that stuff is going to cost you, obviously, because things cost money. We all, money doesn't grow on trees. Some of us are rich. That wouldn't be me. And so I have to plan and save for things. Tools. Do you have the correct tools? For example, to take off a valve cover, are you going to use a torque wrench or another type of wrench or socket or whatever? Obviously, you're not going to use a torque wrench, but you want to know what tools you need, how much they're going to cost if you don't own them, or if you can find a friend who has them, or rent the tools. Which, places like AutoZone, I think Pep Boys, places like that, you can rent tools. So that is another aspect of determining cost. The other thing, which I don't think a lot of people take into consideration, is machine shop work. I know for my motor, I'm going to keep it 2 liter. I'm not going to bore it out, so I really need to have the block honed, just because I have 127,000 miles on it. So that, I have to find out the cost of how much it is to hone this block. I need to have the crank balanced, because Hyundai cranks aren't naturally balanced, which I don't understand why not. Good job, Hyundai. So, the machine shop work and things like that all comes into play. And obviously, it's good to find that stuff out before you start building, or just have a plan on how much you're going to have to spend to build this motor. Right now, I'm up to about, for me, it's probably going to be about $3,500, depending on if I decide to actually buy a second block and work on the block work on that block and then put everything into the car once it's done. So, you know, it's one of those things that you definitely want to think about. Okay. Number 2, and this is a biggie. I mean, it's kind of one of the, and kind of it's common sense. Make sure all of the bolts that you take off of your car that you know you're going to have to reuse. Ziploc bags and a Sharpie are your friend. Take those bolts, put them in their own separate, put them in the Ziploc bag, and then label the bag and hang it on a wall. Make sure you keep it somewhere where you know you can find it, because losing a bolt obviously sucks, or ending up with thinking you finished the job but you end up with extra bolts when you started off with not having any extra bolts. You know, that's a problem, and you would have to probably go through, depending on where it is, and figure out where's this bolt. So make sure you label and bag any bolts that you are going to reuse. It's just simple common sense, and it'll save you a bunch of trouble in the end. 3, and I don't know why I decided to make these all in one, but make sure you have an engine hoist available and an engine stand, preferably one that can hold the correct weight of the engine that you're working on, because you don't want to have a 650-pound engine on an engine stand that only holds 400 pounds, because obviously if that motor drops, you're in some shit. Sorry for my language, but I mean, that's the only way I could put it. So make sure you have an engine hoist, an engine stand, and this is kind of more inside the motor stuff internally, but engine lube where required. I don't know why I put those 3 together, but obviously lubing up parts as your such as your bearings and things like that are important, because obviously when you go to start the motor, if they're not lubricated, you're going to mess something up. So make sure you have your lubrication. That sounds so dirty, but whatever. 4, numero 40. I can't, my Spanish is bad right now. Number 4, make sure you buy some sort of manual for your vehicle, like a Haynes manual, something like that. So that way you have all the, you know, you have pictures, you have the correct torque specs for things other than, like, you know, head studs, which if you're buying something like ARP, those have their own torque specs and things like that. But make sure you have some sort of Haynes manual that can help guide you along, okay? You know, and don't be afraid to, if you have to, like, say, call a dealer, because a dealer will have those torque specs. I found that out with my with my SRT4, that the dealer does have torque specs. I didn't know that when I built the motor for my Integra, but with the SRT4, I found that out. And yes, this piston right here, the one with the big ass hole in it, this is from my SRT4 actually. I did too much boost, just so you know, too much boost. So, you know, again, make sure you have some sort of manual. It's very important to you know, to see what you're doing, as well as just reading instructions and things like that. So manual, important. Number 5, cinco. I got the Spanish right this time. Cinco. So check, double check, and triple check. Once you've say you've bolted down the crank with the main bearings and things like that, make sure to check your clearances. Make sure to check that you torqued everything down, all the bolts down properly. Then go back and double check, and if you have to, triple check. Okay, and if you really need to, and I actually would suggest it, have a friend who is experienced in building motors come over and check to make sure that you've torqued things down, you got things down in the right place. You know, because this is important. You do not want to have to take everything apart or blow something, spin a bearing or anything like that, because you didn't check the clearances and you didn't double check your torque specs and things like that. So again, make sure you're doing that type of stuff, and it'll save you drama in the end. Number 6, 6. Wait, uno, dos, cuatro, cinco, seis. Yep, seis. Anyway, yeah, I probably should watch Dora the Explorer. But anyway, number 6, you know, and don't get me wrong, there are more procedures and things like that that you have to do when you're building a motor for the first time or the second time even, and things like that. But these were just some of the things off the top of my head that were important. So number 6 is patience. Patience is key. You do not want to rush any of this. You know, again, this is your motor. This is something that you are going to want to put power to. You're gonna beat the crap out of probably. So you want to be patient in every single thing that you're doing. You do not want to rush this. You do not want to, you know, I get like some of us watch like Street Outlaws and they're pulling the motor apart and rebuilding it in like a day or two. That's not most of us. I'm pretty sure there are some of you out there that probably could do that, but that's not most of us. You know, you want to make sure that you are patient. Sometimes it's just good to do things slowly, especially for those who have a second vehicle. Then you definitely have no excuse but to be patient and make sure that everything is correct. So, patience. You know, I could add more. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section about this video and what I've said. You know, again, this is more basic stuff, and you know, I think it's one of those things where it'll help people go from being a Busta to a Gearhead, you know, and really just understanding how the motor works, how their car is going to work, just doing research on the parts that you're going to use and things like that. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this video, and add anything to this list. I'm sure there are other people that would like to know, okay, what else do I have to do and things like that. So, you know, let me know what you think. Guys, before I wrap this video up, I wanted to come in here and just show you exactly what I got for the Genesis Coupe. So if you haven't watched the other videos, then just to get you up to date, I bought the Evo 8/9 turbo conversion kit. So I needed to obviously get a turbo. Sorry if it's too dark in here. It's a sunroom, which is kind of weird because you would think sunroom would be later. Anyway, so I wanted to show you guys exactly what I got for the Genesis Coupe, what my decision was. And that is, I don't know if I should try getting it all out of the box, but I'll do it. This turbo. So what is this turbo, you ask? It is from the 2006 Evo 9. It is the turbo code is the TD05 HR16G6C 10.5T. And I think from what I've been reading, well, not I think from what I've been reading, that comes out of the GSR. So, and from what else I've been reading, it's good for, you know, it's good for up to about 380 horsepower. But again, I'm going to build the motor, so, you know, we'll see where we can get. We'll see if we can push it a little bit more. Eventually, I think I'm going to go to the FP series turbo, which probably the FP green, which is good up to 1,000 horsepower. I won't ever push 1,000 horsepower, or will I? But you know, it's a good start, because again, this car, you know, it needs to be built, one, and then I need to get used to the power before I can just, you know, get in the ring and box with Ali. Another Fast and the Furious quote. But, you know, it'll be in there soon, so let me know what you guys think. I think I'm actually going to end up, because I feel there's a tiny bit of, there's some shaft play, a little bit, not a whole lot. But I think I might rebuild the turbo, just to be on the safe side, and probably paint the housing. Nothing like ghetto or anything like that, just to clean it up a little bit. It's probably going to be like black or a gray or something like that. Nothing crazy. So let me know what you guys think about the turbo. Let me know what you guys think about my project. Stick around. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And oh, let me just say, for all of you guys that are new, because I just noticed I went from like I picked up a few more subscribers. Welcome. Definitely enjoy the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will, I'll be talking to you guys and things like that. I think I might, once I get to around 100 subscribers or something like that, I think I'm going to, do something, little contest or something like that. But, we'll see. But until then, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just happy that you guys are here. So thank you. And like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Can't wait to talk to you later. Can't wait to talk to you guys again. I got to go to the gym. I got work to do. Work on this. I'm building this as well. I got to match my car. So until next time, have a good night. Peace. Oh, wait. Sorry. One last thing. And like I said, I'm going to end my videos with this just to have you guys thinking. You don't have to be great to get started. You have to get started to be great. Think about it. Peace.